Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Logan here. Today we're going to be learning This Is Home by Switchfoot. This is an awesome song by an awesome band with an awesome guitar part that actually is a keyboard part in the song, but I'm going to teach it to you as a guitar part. So let's jump right in. This will be awesome. You're watching Logan's Lessons. Okay, so for the first part of the song, the intro and the verse, it includes the same guitar riff, which happens to be the keyboard riff, which I mentioned earlier. I'll show that to you, and then I'll teach it to you. Here we go. Alright, so what that is, you're going to put your first finger on the 8th fret of your B string, your second finger on the 9th fret of your G string, and your third finger on the 10th fret of your D string. They kind of look like stairs. Alright, for picking pattern, you're going to play your B string, then you're going to play your D string. You're going to do that up strum, like upstroke, then downstroke on your D string. Then you're going to do then you're going to put your pinky down on your G string on the 10th fret, and then you're going to play your pinky finger on the 10th fret, then to the 9th fret with your middle finger. So all together you have. Alright, and that's all there is to both the intro and the verse. That whole thing repeats the entire intro and first verse. We'll talk about the second verse later. Let's go to the chorus. Okay, so the chorus is by far the most complicated part of the song. It includes 2 strumming patterns and a bunch of different chords. I'll show those to you right now. I'll play it and then I'll show it to you. Alright, so first chord we have here is an F chord. You're going to put your third finger on the 3rd fret of your D string, your second finger on the 2nd fret of your G string, and your first finger on the 1st fret of your B string. Oh, I'm sorry, the first chord we have is a C chord, but we get an F later. So the first chord we have is a C chord, and it's exactly what I just told you, but you move your 3rd and your 2nd finger up one string. Then the second chord we have is a G chord, which you're going to put your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of your E string, your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of your A string, your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your B string, and your 4th finger, your pinky, on the 3rd fret of the E string. Next we have an A minor, where we're going to put our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of our D string, our 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of our G string, and our 1st finger on the 1st fret of our B string. And then we have the F that I showed you earlier. Then, the second time through, we're going to play a D minor chord, where we're going to put our 2nd finger on our 2nd fret of our G string, our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of our B string, and our 1st finger on the 1st fret of our E string. Then we go back to A minor, then a G. So the way that this chord structure works is we're going to have C, G, A minor, F. Then we're going to do C again, G again, then to D minor, A, G. That is the chorus. And then the turnaround goes F, C, A minor, F, C, G. Now that's a lot, so let's start talking about strumming pattern, then we'll piece it all together. So we first start out with our C, and I'll demonstrate the strumming pattern, then I'll explain what it is. It's going to sound like this. That is down, down, up, down, up. Down, 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 up, down, up. And we're going to carry this through all the way until the second G. So it's going to sound like this. That's where it stops. That part is easy. That strumming pattern is consistent all the way through that part. Then we go to our D minor chord, and this is where things start getting tricky. We're going to play down, down, up for each of these chords. So it's going to be D minor, down, down, up, then A minor, down, down, up, then a G, down, down, up. Okay? And then it goes to the turnaround. So all together in the chorus, we have down, down, up, C, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, G, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, then D, then C, down, 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 up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, down, up. Well, it goes. Then into the turnaround. The turnaround, which I mentioned earlier, is F, C, A minor. And the second one is F, C, and G. We're going to play that just like we play the D, A minor, G. We're going to play. That's the second one. So it's going to be the same strumming pattern. It's going to be F, alright, I'll play the whole thing for you. You got it. Then back to your intro part. That part. Okay, so you got the chorus. Let's move on to the second verse. Okay, for the first half of the second verse, you're going to be playing the exact same thing you did for the entire first verse and the intro. Now, the second part of the second verse, second half, is going to be different. You're going to be playing chords. So let me show those to you right now. Okay, so what that is we're going to be playing a C chord, then to a G chord, then each of these next chords gets half of the amount of time that the C and the G get. We're going to play an F, then we're going to go to a G, to an A minor, then to G, we'll build on G, then into the chorus. Okay, so what we're doing for strumming pattern wise is we're just going to be doing palm muted down strums, so it's going to sound like this. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting my palm on, resting on the strings. Okay? And so the progression is C to G to F to G to A minor to G, then into the chorus. So you see I start building halfway through the A minor, back to, you get the idea. So that's the bridge. So that's the verse. Next we have the bridge. I'll show that to you now. Okay, so here's the bridge. So what that is it's a C chord. Next it's a G minor, where you're gonna bar your 3rd fret, and then you're gonna put your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of your A string, and your 4th finger, your pinky, on the 5th fret of your D string. And then to an F chord, which you can either play like this, but I prefer to play it on this part like this, where it's a bar chord. So you bar your 1st fret, you put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your A string, then you put your 4th finger on the 3rd fret of your D string, and you place your 2nd finger, your middle finger, on the 2nd fret of your G string. The reason why I prefer to do that is the second time around, the F major chord shares half of its bar, like half of its measure, with its minor chord, F minor. And it's easier to play F minor as a bar chord. Okay, so strumming pattern, we're just doing this. So all together, we've got immediately after that C chord strikes and resolves, we're going into this build where we're going to play F, and everything's going to be in 3s. So you're going to play F, 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 C over B, which is a C chord, but you take this off and you move this finger down, which we're going to use our 2nd finger. Then to C, then a G, back into the chorus. So what that sounds like is it's going to be back into the chorus. Alright, so I've taught you everything I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you did, please like and subscribe and hit that bell icon. It lets you know when I release new videos. Thank you so much for watching. You were watching Logan's Lessons.